Okay, is this live? Yes, this appears to be live, even though this doesn't say it is. Greg says, I hope your Friday afternoon is going better than mine. Well, what's going on, Greg? What happened? Okay, so today we have an A1398 with no image on the screen. Let's confirm that it has no image on the screen before starting, because we never know if it'll actually have image on the screen for something stupid. So, let's plug our MagSafe 2 in. MagSafe. These take an 85 watt, so don't use a 60 watt or 45 watt and think it's going to turn on, because it won't. This is also a brand new screen. I can see this is a brand new screen. So if we plug in the charger, if we turn on the switch to turn the charger, we get a green light. We get a green light. I need water. But it doesn't appear to chime. Now, no chiming is 100% different from no image. So, I see this doesn't chime, and there goes my hope of an easy repair. So let's take out the bottom case screws. Let's have a look. I thought this would be a no image or no backlight. It's not no image or no backlight. It's no post, which is terrible. No post is almost always CPU or PCH related. Sometimes no vCore, rarely no vCore. If vCore is missing, you could have a circuit issue or you could have a chipset issue. So the CPU or the PCH, which runs off of a different power rail of the CPU, is responsible for basically telling the controller that controls vCore, that switches the FETs, that it's okay to send power. And if that's not talking to that controller, it will not send power to the board. And if that happens, or it won't have serial communication and you won't get power. Now our fan is spinning. I don't see any liquid damage. I see some flux here. That's never a good sign. This was probably screwed with. This is an 820-00138, which is one of the newer Retina 15-inch boards. Let's see. So our fans are spinning. Our CPU is warm, so we have vCore. Our LVDS connector looks, you know what? There is a little bit of corrosion on that. So let's have a look here. First off, let's see if I can see an image, just in case their sound is off or turned down. Let's see if we have an image. These Retina screens are extremely hard to see, and I can't see it. Yeah, I cannot see anything. Let's see. If I tilt it, shine that right where the apple is, I do not see an image. I see nothing. I see no Apple logo, no image. So, what I'm going to do now, let's have a look under the microscope of that area that's corroded. So, move the microscope over, switch off of this camera, go right here. Sarah says a tank, a multimeter, a base mod. I agree. 35 Celsius sounds awful. What is it right now? Let me look. It's 28 outside right now, so that's a little bit better. All right, so you know what? This does not look like no image. This looks like, yeah. That's not corrosion. That's somebody messed with that. Okay, this is no fun. So much for an easy one. I thought this would be a nice easy one. Let's see if we get a light on the USB mouse. Let me find my USB mouse, because that's something that's always here. It annoys me, and I move it, and then I forget where I move it. Every time I forget where I move it. Every single time. That always happens. I always forget where I move stuff. USB mouse. It's gone. It's not even in here. And tomorrow I move my office around again. My whole office is going to be moved around once again, which is not fun. Okay, USB mouse. Here it is. Here's our USB mouse. So if we plug this in, sir, your soldering is not that bad. Do we get a light on the USB mouse when we plug it in? Let's see. USB mouse, fan is spinning, and we do get a light on USB mouse. So this is no image. Well, sort of no image. What this tells me is it is passing post, or it's at least trying to post. So that's a good sign. This probably isn't totally brain dead. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is hold the power button for about 10 seconds so it turns off. Or I could just unplug the battery. Plug it in. Command Option PR for PRAM reset. See if we get chime. Will we get chime? We do get chime, so it's passing post. So now we have a no image issue. And the first thing I'm going to go for is that LVDS connector that looks like garbage. So let's take this board apart. Let's get a T5. Battery is unplugged. A1398 is not as bad as the new ones. Cam, I did a PRAM reset. We still have no image. So what a PRAM reset is going to do is going to reset all the small values like sound, anything stored in the NVRAM. And a lot of times that stuff can prevent it from posting. So it did post, but we still have no image. So now we have to fix this board. So we will fix this board. Probably by sometime next week, we should have a upgraded streaming computer that doesn't randomly crash and should deliver better frame rates. As it is, I can't even edit videos here. The CPU is so slow that it's almost impossible. So I bring the videos home to edit on the good computer. So now I just decided I'm going to build a good computer here instead of this piece of junk Dell that doesn't work half the time. A1398s I don't like. Too many screws. I like MacBook Airs. MacBook Airs are always, why don't you remote your desktop? Yeah, because that's even worse, you know, having to deal with the lag from the internet. I have so many videos I need to record that have been on my mind. feel like I'm gonna sneeze from allergies. Allergies are no fun. That is true. I didn't say I was going to sneeze, and I didn't sneeze. The urge went away. I don't like sneezing. Okay, our board is out of the enclosure. Now let's have a look. I have nowhere to put this other MacBook because there's MacBooks all along the counter. I have no customer service counter anymore. The customer service counter is just another place for me to put stuff. That's what happens. Here's a slot. Just have to move stuff out of that slot. And now that'll go in this slot. Okay, our motherboard is out of the enclosure. Wonder what we'll find. So first off, I don't see any liquid damage. Now you may think, well, if there's no liquid damage, why are you touching the LCD connector? It's not the connector. The connector has to have something. There's something leading to the connector that's going to cause this. The connector isn't just going to fail randomly, unless you do something dumb with it. So let's go ahead and look at this board under the microscope. So, we know this is our first issue here. It looks like those two caps may have been replaced too. We don't know the history of this poor board. You can see that they were probing right here, so they did mess with this. They were probing right here. Let's just look really carefully and see if we see anything else that has been messed with. Is it possible to read and program the SMC through JTAG? I have no idea. Maybe. I mean, anything is possible. I don't know too much about the programming side of things. So, I don't see anything else wrong with this board. So the first thing I'm going to do without using my brain is just change that connector, because there's a good chance that it was messed with. And if it was messed with, I can't trust somebody else's work. So I'm going to take off the heatsink so I don't heat up the CPU. Last thing we want is to kill the CPU. Then we'll remove that connector and set our new one on. Heatsink is off. Here's our connector. You can see there's flux by it and capacitors that have been replaced. There may also be a resistor right there that's missing. Not good. Always replace your resistors. That could be why it has no image, but either way, I'm not going to leave this connector on the board. I could tell this connector was not replaced, it's just been messed with, because this is original soldering right there. Our connector is off the board. You can see where it was messed with right here, and the flux under it. Put some fresh Amtech NC560 that I need to reorder because everybody bought it up. With the exception of a few tubes for myself. The moisture indicator melting soothed my brain. Everything but the fuses are in fact fuses on MacBooks. That is 100% true. The CPU is the fuse. Everything is the fuse. The fuse is not the fuse. The PCB itself is the fuse. The PCB will melt internally and die and cause a fire before the fuse blows. Excellent engineering, Apple. Excellent engineering. Before, when you would plug in a screen with the battery connected, you would blow the backlight fuse. No big deal. Put a new backlight fuse on, you're good to go. The new machines, you blow the CPU. The CPU is the backlight fuse. That's how it works. I think he is, Cam. I think he is. Clean that up a bit. Let's grab a new LVDS connector. Brand new IPEX connector available on store.rossmangroup.com. Piernov is right. The SMC is read protected, unfortunately. Let's grab our iron, clean the tip a bit. We'll solder this connector. Soldering connectors is kind of fun. Except if it's J9500, then it's not fun. Then it becomes miserable. I cannot solder J9500 connectors very well. How do you buy used SMCs? You steal them off of boards with holes in them. It's the only way. I hot aired a micro USB today. Reflow micro USB. 10,000% fix. Reflow CPU. 100,000% fix. Reflow everything. Why am I even replacing this connector? I could have just reflowed the other one. Reflowing makes everything better. Joshua is here. Cam seems to have forgotten my name. Cam thinks I'm called Tom. People outside the store and the neighbors must think I'm crazy all the time, just talking to myself. That's probably what they think. Could imagine the one-star review. I walked in and he was talking at himself. Do not leave your stuff here. He's crazy. That wouldn't... It's not out of the question that that would happen. I mean, that sounds plausible. Do you ever have people walk in? Yeah, all the time. People walk in all the time. Usually not around 12. They usually come in the afternoon. Local isn't very busy. Mail-in is swamped right now, though. As you can see, this person doesn't know how to solder. Good idea, Greg. I should tell them. Yeah, it's just the chemicals. Just the Branson EC and the flux. It makes you talk to yourself. Completely normal. Leave your device with me. Doesn't appear that I could solder anymore. Same as yesterday. Cam, you need a microscope first. You have to ask your friend if one of those will randomly show up too. Show up at random. Oh, look at this mess I made. Look at this bridge. What is this? Come on, get out of here. Go onto my iron. There we go. Come on. What I'm going to do is move that blob around the pin of the connector. And what that's going to do is going to allow some of that solder to go away with hopes that we can get rid of it. And it appears it just made a bigger mess. Time for more flux. More flux makes everything better. Everything. Okay, this is starting to remind me of some of the stuff I get that's soldered like this. Only, at least I'll fix it and not leave it like that, then send it to someone else. I have to get a little bit of wick. Now that people are laughing at me, we can fix this properly. The title of the videos will soon be Comedy. Or the category of the videos will be comedy. Watch inept repair technician attempt to solder. Those are supposed to be connected, so we're good there. Do I see any other bridges? If you see any of these black particles like that, you can kind of see it in there. That's just the flux burning. My iron is at 730 degrees Fahrenheit. Whatever that is in Celsius, I have no idea. And that connector is soldered. At least I think it is. Now I can clean it. See how nice this new Amtech cleans? It's not even a pain. It just cleans right up. Cleans up so perfectly. To check my messages now. Now it's almost time to see if this is fixed. Want all that alcohol to dry and stuff. I don't really think a little alcohol would prevent the screen from turning on, but you never know. Crosstalk is never good. I never get notifications anymore. Thank Google. I'd imagine not many people get notifications. So, answer this. Who in chat gets notifications when I go live? Let's see. What percentage gets notifications? Where's... Oh, here it is. So here's our board. What I'm really wondering is why was that connector replaced? That's what I'm wondering. Because the connector isn't just going to fail unless you physically break it, which is a possibility, but it doesn't look like that. It looked like they just tried to solder it. It could have had a little corrosion though, you never know. Put a note on door, Mad Hatter, lead poisoning. That's a good way to get shut down. I probably do need one of those stupid warnings that says this facility contains chemicals known to the state of California to cause cancer, birth defects, and other reproductive harm. I should also wear a notice on my shirt that says the same thing, that I also can do the same thing. Because I'd imagine that I smell like Amtech Flux every day. Anthony, that's an Ivy bridge. Replace the controller and the 4 FETs and that'll work. Usually. That's Ivy bridge. This isn't new touch bar. This is Ivy bridge. Replace your controller, replace 4 FETs, and enjoy happy MacBook. Who is Anthony Jabari, says Martin. Anthony is a traitor. I think Anthony is from Sweden, too. He's another Swedish troll. He says he isn't, but I think he is. Okay, we get fan spin. We get fan spin. And we get an image on the screen. You can't see that, but now we have backlight. We have, and a question mark. Question mark. Fixed. 1000% fixed, without using a Wagner heat gun to reflow the CPU, like some other repair shops around me would suggest. My computer is lagging like crazy. I could barely even switch tabs in Google Chrome, despite having an Intel Xeon processor and 16 gigabytes of RAM. Piece of junk. I'm gonna sneeze again. Okay, so I want to look at this board over one more time to see if there's anything else that looks off on it. Because if it was messed with before, I don't know what else it's been messed with. But otherwise, this was a nice, easy fix. Let's give the board over, look the board over one more time. Our backlight circuit hasn't been messed with. Our fuse hasn't been messed with. A good indicator that someone doesn't really know what they're doing is if they have backlight and they replace the fuse immediately without checking it. Our JTAG is right here. Now, this board hasn't been touched, but there is an extreme urge I have to rip the JTAG off the board, but I don't know if I should do it. What's chat think? Should I kill this JTAG to make Apple's life harder? Should I do it? Kill JTAG? What do you guys think? We will come back to JTAG. Save time and leave it. What kind of answer is that? We don't do that here. We don't save time and leave JTAGs on the board. Who does that? Why save time? JTAGs do not deserve to be on this earth. They're evil. They're terrible things. Who even wants a JTAG on the board? Do we really want to make the life of an Apple technician easier? That just blew away and I don't know where it went. That's like gone. I want that flux in my life. Martin, you realize that's for sale. You realize I have that for sale and that you could order it. And that can go in a priority mail envelope and be sent off to you. I don't see where that went. It's just gone. Half board is ground. I agree. Ground is anywhere that is yellow. Ground, ground, ground. So if you ever have an issue with your board, the goal is to send 30 volts to these coils that are under here. I just got a message. I must check message. Half board is ground. Somebody actually answered that. Look at this. This is okay. Display capture. Half board is ground. Half board is ground. Makes a whole lot of sense, doesn't it? Okay, do we see anything else here? I don't see anything else. I think this board is ready for ultrasonic. So I'm going to put this board in the ultrasonic and then grab another MacBook to fix. How do these people, these please bros, come up with this stuff? It's great, honestly. Just such good entertainment every single day. Silly answers. The power of please, bro. Okay. What temperatures are ultrasonic? I also want to take this Wi-Fi card thing out because I don't want that to get water in it when it doesn't need to get water in it. This is a nice easy one, just an LVDS connector. That is rare. Okay. This will go in Q for ultrasonic. The ultrasonic is at 61. We want around 75. I think 75 degrees and 3 minutes is better than like 70 and 4. A little bit more aggressive. Okay, this goes over here. Let's grab another one. First I need to clean this up because this is a mess of repairs that are all taken apart. And so like right before I started the stream I was reassembling an Air and I knocked over the enclosure that had all the screws in it. So this is one of our store laptops, right? So I had the screw holder on my desk, I moved, I knocked all the screws onto the floor. So now this is my store MacBook, as you can see. It's been professionally reassembled with Kapton tape to hold stuff in because I take screws out of it. The next thing that's going to be held in by Kapton tape is the logic board and all the rest of the screws, because we're going to take all these screws out to put it in the other one that I knocked over. Because that's how we do things here. We reassemble store MacBooks with Kapton tape. Now where does this thing go? Other room, I guess. And let's see, what else do we have that's good? What's this one here? Liquid damaged. A1707? A1706? A1706. No fun. I don't like A1706s. They're a pain to take apart. They have so many screws. Why A1706? Why not A1502? It went inside. Come out, come out. This little pick thing went inside. I have enough screws, Christian. I can just buy them. Thank you for the offer, though. And there's flux on this board, and they ultrasonically cleaned it. There's flux everywhere on this board. Do not mess with the board. Do not put flux on the board. This probably went to a certain company that reballs CD3215s in a manner that is not a very good way to reball a CD3215. That's sad. There's flux everywhere. There's missing screws. Let's see what this does. Maybe it'll be simple. Can I beat this certain company that's been in business longer than I've been alive again? No, I don't know if this went to them first. So what I want to check is what I get on DCN. This will give me a good idea of what's going on the board. So I'm going to measure on our DC in fuse right here. And I get 6 volts. 6 volts, well, it's actually 5 volts because my meter is dead. So we know we have an issue here. We have 5 volts. This may be easy. This may be an excellent board to work on. So I have to take it out of the enclosure now. And that means I need a screw holder. Slot 2 has stuff in it. Slot 15 has stuff in it. I will resort to taking these chips out and using this one. What do I use? I use either MG or the stuff from Lewis. First thing I want to do is take out the battery. All your base belong to us. What? All my base? W4RC, what? I have no idea what you mean. Yeah, I'm the wrong person to ask that. All your MacBook belong to us. No, all those MacBooks belong to me. Actually, they don't. They're not really mine. If I keep them as my own, I'm pretty sure there's going to be some people that are going to come to my door. I don't want that. I don't want people showing up at my door, so I will make sure these MacBooks remain with the original owner. All your JTAG belong to us. Excellent. I'm going to start sending burned JTAGs to people. That would be fun. So many screws. No, Martin, I really don't. I'm a board tech that never leaves my office. I'm sure half the people that watch this channel have no idea about some of the stuff that, the inside jokes that happen here either. But that's okay. They only left one screw in each USB-C port, so what I'm going to do is take the screws out of the lifeboat connector and put them there. Now the reason why I'm doing that is the lifeboat connector doesn't really need the screw there. It's just there to keep it locked down. When you're plugging something in, you can push the port out a little bit and cause it to come off the board, so I'd rather have the one screw missing from the lifeboat connector than the 2 screws missing from the lifeboat connector than 1 screw missing from a USB-C port. Oh, did they long screw this? No. Play that video. That is bad English indeed. Now I lost my stream window. I should try sending a MacBook that I reflow every chip onto someone. I think that'll be fun. I mean, people do it to me, so why don't I do it to other people? Just reflow everything. Literally, like, put a whole 30cc tube of flux on it and just reflow the entire board and then send it to someone with the notes doesn't power on. I don't know why. That would be fun. Thing is if what I've been doing is there's some, like, there's this dumb cell phone repair group on Facebook, and I do please bro stuff in there, and people think I'm serious, because that's how normal it is there for people not to know anything. Facebook is primarily used for making people mad at me, usually, except my own group. Look at that post I just tagged you in. Who are you? First attempt at iPad Air charging, what? Heat gun. No. No heat gun on an iPad, period. Bad. Do not use a heat gun. If hot air, not a heat gun, not a paint stripper. I'm sick of that stuff. Oh, my soldering person used this to desolder this chip, and now it doesn't turn on at all. Yes, because you don't use a paint stripper to desolder a chip. It's simple as that. Okay, so if there is a CD3215 that is dead, that is excellent. If the ISL9239 is dead, that's even better. But if the what am I saying if the ISL9239 is dead? I mean, if one of the CD3215s is dead, I'm having a bad day because this is underfilled. And I don't want to work on an underfilled board. I'm running out of slot space here. Need a bigger store with more slots. I don't have fame. I'm not famous. I'm nobody. Look, there's 32 people watching my stream. That is not famous. I did play the video, Martin. I saw it. So, let's go over this. So, when the USB-C is at 5 volts, let's plug in our charger again. When USB-C is at 5 volts, what this means is the charger is basically just sending its voltage. Nothing's really talking to it. You know what I mean? So, we need each CD3215, and as you see there's junk around here. All of these need to talk to each other, so these need to communicate with each other. So, both these need to talk. These guys need to talk to the ones over here, and so on. Now, if anything is screwed up with these, if one CD3215 is messed up, and I feel some heat coming from over here, if one of these CD3215s is messed up, it will not turn on. They'll stay at 5 volts because they're not initializing. Now, in order for these CD3215s to work, we need PP3V3 underscore G3 hot. That's going to show up, should be on one of these now. Something is getting hot right here, like a CPU MOSFET maybe. Yeah, the heatsink is getting hot, so this is most likely trash. Let's measure this again. Martin, show that in chat. I don't want to play that. Alright, so we do get 20 volts, and now we get, do we get V-core? Because it sure feels like we have V-core. If not, it's just a short. 0 volts, 0.8 volts, 0.8 volts. Lovely. This is trash. 1 volt. No, it's not. You put flux around here. How dare you put flux around here? You put a resistor on the wrong way. Okay, somebody messed with this. What did you do? What did you do? I feel disturbed that there's flux around the CPU MOSFETs. The CPU is actually getting warm, but it doesn't really even have V-core. So let's check all CPU phases. Phase 1, 0 volts. Phase 2, 0 volts. Phase 3, 0 volts. System agent, 0.85 volts. Alright, so there is voltage going to it, but we have no CPU V-core, and this is never fun because... yeah, it's never fun because it's always the darn CPU that fails. So yeah. Here's our controller, which our controller looks like garbage. No, it doesn't, does it? Does it? No. Okay, so this is no vCore. This is this is what I have here, no vCore. So when this happens, the first and foremost thing you should do is try crying, because that's what will usually solve this problem. The second thing you can do is find the PMIC, or anywhere else that has corrosion, like right here, which is probably for nothing, but we still want to take care of that. So, put a little flux right here. And refurbish this resistor with Amtech NC560. See how nice this removes oxidation? See how nice that is? Just removes it just so beautifully. So sad. Poor MacBook. So the thing that bothers me now is there's flux on it. So what they probably did is refloat it. But see, then again, I don't know, because that's still... There's still a water damage indicator that hasn't been messed with. Have you tried the ASM stuff? Yeah, so right here I have Amtech NC559V2 and Amtech NC559 ASM. Before they were different, and then they changed 559 V2, and they're both identical now. I have this new one I really like, NC560 LFTF. Can flux even be imported into Sweden, or is Customs going to steal that? Because usually anything chemical, Customs is really strange about. Okay, so usually if all the rails from the chip are missing, that is, if all the rails are missing from the chip, then usually that's going to be a power to the chip, but only one rail is missing. That FET looks replaced. As you can see, one side has less solder. So this was probably corroded. This one definitely looks replaced. Does it? Yeah, that looks... Somebody definitely replaced that. So this is trash. Yeah, I'm not... Yeah, you screwed with it. Now, Sarah, send me a picture of the label of that NC... of that ASM. The label... The label matters. So this one... If it's AliExpress, it's probably fake. Yeah, because that stuff is made in the US. Alright, next MacBook, because that one's trash. What else do I have here? A1278. A1278 random shuts off on boot. This does not sound too fun. Random shutting off on boot can be several things. Usually junk under something. And this is liquid damaged, so. Random shutting off on boot. China trademark number, yeah, that's fake. What that is rebranded Vaseline. The FedEx guy is running, like, really fast. Yeah, that always makes me laugh when I see that with the Chinese the Chinese writing on it. Okay, so this is apparent why it's shutting off. See this liquid damage here? There's some around that current sensing resistor. This board needs some work. So most likely this is just junk under something. Somebody ultrasonicked it, tried to make it work, and it didn't work. So how is our CPU? Okay, we have some junk around the BIOS. CPU controllers, the IMVP ton resistor can cause stuff like that sometimes. But usually the shutting off is going to be junk under the SMC or anything that is causing excess power to be used, like this cap right here could be partially shorted. Backlight driver could be the issue. Yeah. Okay, let's see if this actually random shuts off. So, let's plug it in. Wait. I need my wiring harness for the DC power supply. This power supply is starting to fail. We'll go to 18.5 volts. Let's plug this in. The fan instantly spins. See, there's no hard drive in it, so how could we tell that it random shuts off on boot? We can't. So let's plug in a hard drive. My test SSD doesn't even work anymore, so. So it appears our keyboard doesn't work either, so I'm going to take care of the stuff that is obviously corroded, and then go from there, because that most likely is going to be our issue. Little corrosion like that's probably going to be causing the issue. That's how it always happens. And we have a small problem here. Screw holder. Is there anything important in here? Nope. So this bench is going to go against that wall again, where it was. So this slot thing that you see over here, these laptops are either stuff that is mine that's junk or that's stuff people have left. There's no active repairs on that. That's going to go in the other room, in which I have to clean the other room. That shelf... That shelf will go right here because the bench that's going here is like it's half of the size of this, but it's adjustable height. So I have no idea how I'm going to do this. It's kind of going to be a little bit of a mess to move around, but whatever it is, it'll work. The issue that I'm having with this bench is it's too high. I don't like the height of it. So when I reach over stuff, it's just uncomfortable. It's fine, but if you're doing it all day, yeah, it's uncomfortable. At least I'm pretty sure my audio hasn't been weird lately. Where's my Phillips? I don't have a Phillips screwdriver around here anymore. That's sad. Yeah, that's really sad. I have to use these dumb adjustable ones. Slot 18. The MacBooks are spilling into this room. All the rest of them are over there. Now they're spilling in here. Okay, let's go over this. So, random shutting off. What can that be? Well, like I said, usually something using too much power, a bad connection. That cap looks like trash. That's for backlight. It may not be shutting off. It may be losing backlight. If we have corrosion here, we know the backlight driver got hit. This is Thunderbolt. These caps are pretty resilient. They rarely short. Those are okay. That's got to go. This has got to go. This sensor chip I will replace. If liquid got right here, it's probably got under the SMC. This looks okay. There's some corrosion by the BIOS. That's not a huge deal. What else? This was replaced. Maybe not. Clock chip looks okay. Actually, no. See that? So RTC can definitely cause issues like this. That cap needs to go. That chip needs to go. And a good ultrasonic cleaning, and this should be good. So let's start right here. Take out the DCN board. Yeah, sure. This connector should... I don't have these connectors, actually. So this connector is going to have to be okay being resoldered because I don't have these. Too old. I don't really see enough of these. I guess I could steal it off of another one with bottom heat. I may try that. Yeah, I'll probably try that. So, backlight driver, the dot is at the top. I just burned myself. That board is very hot. Don't touch a board that's that hot. Put some nice flux around this SMC. Move the camera up so you guys can see. Heat from a distance. Get the board nice and warm in that area again. Should be good. Random shutting off is nothing that a little bit of flux and heat can't fix. Flux will truly solve all your life's problems. No matter what your problem is in life, you can count on that flux will solve it. Okay, the clock chip now, and that one cap is no good. Clock generators don't really like being liquid damaged. There's some chips that can take it, like MOSFETs. I'll replace them, they're usually fine, but stuff like clock generators, a little bit of liquid usually renders them damaged. Even though it may work, it still may be damaged and cause some issues down the line. Which way did that go? So the dot's in that corner. Poor little resistor. Ran away. So the new streaming computer should be able to, may even try 4K. I may even try 4K. I mean, it's an 8-core, 16-thread. Now, let me ask you guys this. Does the graphics card matter for streaming? I don't think it does. I think it's mainly that it has nothing to do with it, so I was going to go with an RX 560. I don't think I need anything over that for the work computer. But does the graphics card have anything to do with streaming and, like, if I wanted to do 4K? I think it's all CPU. I don't think it has anything to do with the graphics, but I'm not sure. But even so, a 560 should be able to do it. I could always go for, these days the GPU handles a lot of the encoding workload, so should I get a, let's see, what is my GPU usage on this? So, performance, GPU is at 68%. Video encode, oh, that is using the GPU. That explains a lot. So this is a Quadro K2000, and I've heard those aren't really good for stuff like this. So the RX 560 should do it fine though. Should I go with a 560 or get another 580 like I have at home? Or GTX 1050 Ti, which one? Because I don't really need, like, it's not like I'm going to be playing games at work, so I don't need, the minimum that'll get the job done will work. I think the 560 should do fine though. I don't really see the 560 not working. And that clock chip is a 3148V. Do I have 3148V? And I don't. I don't have it there. I probably have it over here though. AV. Does that sound right? Yeah, 2011. This should have it. Yeah, I have a 580 at home. Maybe I'll just get another 580. The thing kind of artifacts once in a while. Well, no, it actually hasn't. 3148V. So 148 AV will not work. I shall look more. I know I have those. It's a question where on which 2936. Stolen. Here we go. Stolen? Seriously? Every board is going to have this stolen. 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 Not stolen. You know what? Maybe that is 31. I don't know. I think that may be the same as 148V. I'm not sure. We'll try a 148 AV. I mean, what's the worst that's going to happen? Should be the same exact pinout. Same, very similar board, so that one should be compatible. For all I know, they changed the labeling of the chip. That probably happens, and it's probably the same as a 148 AV. I have no idea. I'm not too concerned about it. Is it just me or is the ISO on that camera really bad? Let me see if I can adjust that. Seriously, it doesn't even have a menu for that stuff. Oh well. I knocked off another little cap. We'll fix that. Let's see if we still get fan spin here. Actually, let me solder the LP8550 first. LP8550. That is good. That cap. Grab one from this board, which is stolen. So I will grab one from this board, which is also stolen. But what isn't stolen is my current sensing resistor that I need. Current sensing resistor. If this passes ASD, then I won't change that chip. It looks pretty clean. I'm gonna refurbish this connector, not replace it. Looks okay. It's nothing that a little bit of flux, and this is kind of why I like this new flux. It's so good at removing that oxidation and corrosion that gets stuck on the pads. It just instantly just eats it all away, takes it away. See that? See how it just takes it all away? It looks brand new. No need to even replace. Refurbish. Then this one probe point I want to put a little solder on because it looked red. Red probe point means that got hot at one time. And where's my solder? I had a little thing of solder, but it left. That's good. Put a little tiny bit of solder there. You go away. This one needs a tad bit of solder. Now let's replace these two caps. I'm going to switch to my small nozzle because I don't want to burn the connector. My Quick is almost 3 years old. Actually, it is. I got that. No, that is 3 years old. Pretty cool. No. 2 years old. Almost 3 years old. Still on the original heating element. That blew away. Of course it did. Stuff always blows away. I melted that. Who cares about Ethernet though? We don't need Ethernet. Okay, answer this. Why do you use so much flux, bro? You want to see flux usage? You want to see flux usage? We have to solder a little capacitor right here, okay? There, that's flux usage. Is that little tiny capacitor? That's flux usage for you. Question is, what's wrong with you if you don't use that much flux? What? I see you. You went right here. Not gonna run away. Not on my watch. You're not running away. Tony Tone, how's your new flux? How's it working? Everything else looks okay here. So now we plug it in and see if our fan still spins in case I screwed it up. Let's plug it in. We can see our fan is still spinning, so we did not screw it up. Now we're going to ultrasonic this and stress test it. With that being said, ultrasonic cleaner is at 71 degrees, so I think we're good to ultrasonic our boards now. And with that being said, I think I'm going to get out of here because I have to reassemble stuff. The board in the cleaner. Okay, I'm going to take off. Well, I'm not really going anywhere, but I still need to fix stuff. Because there's a lot of MacBooks, and there's even more coming. So, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next stream or video.